Hey, how's it? All right. Nice and early in the morning. The sun hasn't even come up yet, so I wanted to get one going. This is Rivers of Nihil. This is Where Owls Know My Name. I've had a lot of people drop this in the comments. You can imagine how many I'm getting, but there's this one guy that is just so consistent. Must be the super fan. You know who you are. Thank you for hanging out. I would have expected you to bounce and bail, but you showed up in my comments, and again, I said, gosh, I got to do this. So, I'm going to do this for those of you who have never come to my channel before. I am an old composer. I'm a little older than I look. But I did take off my beard recently. So I'm the old composer, hence the decomposer. And what I do is I listen to the tracks for the first time, but my breakdowns are not that of what I would call pop culture like reactions, as much as the fact that as a composer, when I stop, I look for really super cool things to bring out to you who is the listener. And on that level, I don't want to go into theoretical kind of breakdowns, because there's so many other great channels by super qualified people that do that. I want to be that guy to say, check this and this and this out, so that, you know, it might just bring a better listening experience, or a newer, not better, but a newer listening experience to your favorite song. Anyhow, so we're going to rock and roll, lock and load, kick ass, take no hostages. By the way, thank you so much. So many people are buying me a little cup of coffee because my channel's not monetized. If any commercials pop up, it's not my advertising here. YouTube hasn't seemed to want to give me monetization for some weird reason. And so the copyright claim by the publishers run against this, and then they run ads, so it's not me. But for those of you who think, you know, my time is worth a cup of coffee, thank you so much. Those links are down below. Also, the link below for the AKG 240s, which is this headset. And then there'll be links for this music as well, CDs, vinyls, MP3s. So let's do this. I look forward to this. I have a funny feeling this will wake me up first thing Monday morning. All right, here we go. Rivers of Nihil, Where Owls Know My Name. All right. Okay, for those of you who may not still be familiar, what I'll do is I'll stop once or twice, and I try to make it long periods of music before I react. My God. This is probably one of the most dynamic bands I've heard in a long time. I'm not saying that all the other bands and artists and acts are not dynamic, but I was immediately impacted by the amount of thought that has gone into the arrangements and the productions. I don't know, excuse me, I don't know really where to start. If I miss anything, I'll leave a comment and then pin it to the top, because, you know, this is the first time I'm listening to this song, so right now I'm a little overwhelmed with what to talk about. And as I started taking notes, I was like, wait a minute, if I take notes, I'm going to miss something. First, I love that lo-fi squashed drum kit as the opening. A lot of engineering and techie stuff went on there in order to do that. And then it opens up into this really, or once the guitar and the band comes in, it's a really nice dynamic surprise, because when you're, especially if you got headsets on, when you're dialed into that little lo-fi drum, you're just feeling it right here. It's kind of like right here in your face. But when they open it up with the guitars and the drums and that comes in, especially with the chords that they're using, it's nice and spacey, and it really pulls at you. Excuse me. The bass player, oh my goodness. I mean, there's one thing, the duties of the bass, you know, is part of the cojones of the band is the locking in with the kick and the drum. It is a very percussive instrument, in most cases, at least in metal and prog rock and all the other genres, metal genres. But there is a lot of phrasing, killer phrasing going on there that is just phenomenal. And I picked up on it immediately. That's when you saw me bend back and go, geez, he's just killing. You see, I'm right now, there's just so much in my head. It's hard for me to get it all out, because I was so excited by the journey it took me on, getting all the way up to the growling of the singer. You guys know I don't listen to the lyrics, or I don't look at lyrics. I treat the singer as an instrument. As they're coming through and he hits that huge hook, it is a perfect, in my world, as a producer and a composer, it is a perfect ramp up to that hook. Everything, that the way it was arranged, the way it was engineered, the way the musicians played, and then bringing it back into that second, I guess one would call it a verse, where he went from a mellower voice all the way into his growl, and then he kept the growl into the second verse. I just love the dynamics of the effects on the guitar. The pinging in the delay that you hear, which is genius if you have headsets on, is timed. So for those of you who don't know anything about music and being, you know, involved as a musician, the delays that you hear that go back and forth, they're actually in tempo with, you know, the speed of the song. So as it delays and pings, it gives an additional lift to the percussive arrangement of the song. And then, my goodness, saxophone caught me the heck off guard. I don't know the band. I don't know what their makeup is. I don't know how many albums or anything. I'm just going at it. I can't tell you how much I love that. This tells me at least this band has got a much deeper creative influence, and the risks that they want to take as a band, as artists, to represent themselves to the world as Rivers of Nihil is incredible. I love that saxophone. I just can't get over it. I'm going to have to go back and hear it. Now, I don't know if that's just a one-time or if there's actually a saxophone player in the band. I expect to get all of your comments from that. Remember, I don't know everything of anything when it comes to the first time I'm reacting to a song or a band I've never heard before. So I do count on you as the fans or the people that know of this band to kind of help me and guide me through some of their discography. I'm sure I'm missing a couple things because it was just so impactful that I just got lost. I stopped reacting, becoming a listener, and just going, which is a good thing. Oh, by the way, this is universal for chicken skin, which here in Hawaii means goosebumps. So you see me do this already within the first minute to win it. We're rock stars. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go back a couple, and here we go.
This
Sorry to stop right there. I mean, I know sometimes I stop in the wrong places according to the fans, but remember, I don't know what I'm going into. But just even when I was at stop, all of a sudden the bass playing again caught me just crazy. So I just decided I needed to write down a couple things. There was a passage at the very beginning when I was starting the mellower section before it came back into the chug and the drive. So it sounds like there might be keyboard overdubs, which are pads, the long notes. I'm not sure. I don't know, so I can't say that I know. And I love the chord changes, but there was a weird dissonance that was happening in the end of the phrasing. And if it's in there, it's purposeful. It's definitely not a mistake. But what is dissonance? Dissonance is when there are two notes very close together, and it might actually be in the key. I mean, in the scale that they're playing, but positioned right next to each other, it kind of gives you this kind of uncomfortable kind of like, and you maybe saw me go tweak, and that's the kind of a vibe that gave me. The riffiness of the guitar player and his or their arrangement is really powerful yet wide open. It's not too. There's not too much of it in there, and a lot of times, especially when you go into extremely creative prog rock and metal and math rock and stuff, you sit there and you try to shove a lot of stuff in there to get the message across. The way this riff was written still gives me that full, powerful, want to bang into it as best as I can at my age. I got bad vertebrae, so I can't be doing this. And I really appreciate the space. That's part of the riff. I can get that to another time. And then finally, what was I saying? That's it. Let's go ahead and finish this up. I just had to stop there. And of course, the drummer, I think out of everybody that I've mentioned, the drummer is lock spot on. And it, together with the bass player, their pocket, somebody left a message going, what's the pocket? So a rhythmical pocket is when you're holding down the rhythm and staying in a particular section of the song, if you would. It's like, think of it as a pocket. Think of the pocket as right here, and that has to be tight. If the pocket is not tight, all of this doesn't work. And the drums and the bass are the pocket, It could be argued on the colors of the pocket. So you have this rhythm in the pocket going right here, and then you have the guitar players with their riffs or the work that they do, and then you have the melody and the rhythmical structure of the vocalist. All right, so all that playing into it, depending how it's written, it could be really straightforward and just kind of, or it could be very technical. And that's what I love about this. What I'm hearing here is that, since I don't know the background of the band, these are seasoned composers and arrangers. Their skill set with their instruments is undeniable, but just because you rip at an instrument doesn't mean that you can write and arrange and compose well. Big difference there. I might hit on that in a different subject matter someday. All right, let me finish this up. I yapped too much. Good coffee, that's why. Chee-hoo. All right. Excuse me. Long ago, the days gone of the long fade, which I really loved right there. And it allows you, you know what I love about those long fades, just for myself, it just allows you to kind of get off the dose, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's kind of that nice smooth come down, you know. And a song like this, it's really appropriate. I just want to keep going back to the dynamic journey they put us on. You know, great engineering, great production calls on the engineering. I don't know if the band is involved in the engineering. There's usually one or two that are, if not the whole band, to make the decisions. But the journey is, you know, get into your head with these killer clean chords with the band and stuff, hit you over the head with, you know, the people's elbow with their hooks. But when he came into the second verse, then the singer kept the growl going. The saxophone I'm still pinging. I'm gonna have to listen to this a couple times. And like I said, I'll pin a comment on the top of the video as I kind of secondary dissect a few things. But look, dude, the one guy who just constantly kept putting this in the comments, sorry it took this long, man. This was fantastic, and I'm just stoked at this band's work. And I'm going to check through the rest of their catalog, and I'm sure, without a doubt, I'm coming up with more stuff from Rivers of Nihil. Anyhow, so thank you so much for hanging out. This was a wonderful way to wake up on a Monday morning. And actually, the surf is really fun, so I'm going to paddle out in a couple hours. What a way to start the week. All right, so thank you very much. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the critiquing. Thanks for leaving me tips and bits and pieces about the band and helping me, you know, find my way through them as a band and artist. Thank you for the little tips, for the cup of coffee, the headset. Links are all down there. I'm going to go edit and render this, and I'm going to go check the surf. You guys have a killer week. All right. See ya.